I'm Kevin Lee, and let's queer up the USA News. Martin Luther King Jr.'s view on homosexuality in Bayard Rustin's words. Today is the day that we celebrate Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday here in the United States. Dr. King was celebrated as an activist who fought for universal justice and equality for all marginalized communities. One of his most famous quotes, frequently used by queer activists, is, quote, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere," end quote. Notably, however, King never spoke about LGBTQ rights publicly. One of King's closest advisors and protest organizers, Bayard Rustin, was openly gay. Before his death in 1987, Bayard Rustin spoke about King's views in an interview saying, quote, "It is difficult for me to know what Dr. King felt about gayness, except to say that I'm sure that he would have been sympathetic and he would not have had a prejudicial view. Otherwise, he would not have hired me. He never felt it necessary to discuss that with me. He was under such extraordinary pressure about his own sex life. J. Edgar Hoover was spreading stories, and there were very real efforts to entrap him. I think at any given point he had to reach a decision. My being gay was not a problem for Dr. King, but a problem for the movement," end quote. Rustin goes on to explain that King was focused on the rights of racial minorities, and he was afraid that including clear rights in the conversation could have hurt the progress that they had made. Either way, the fight for equality championed by Dr. King continues to echo throughout the LGBTQ rights movement today. You know, I absolutely love that saying that opened this story, which was "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." I think I have never heard that. And I think it's so I love poetry. Greg, I know you write poetry. I think it was a beautiful, highly sophisticated way of speaking truth at a time when there was so much gross injustice. And I think he was a powerful man. I think he was a genius man, light years beyond his time. And this man's light was snuffed out, in my opinion, by those people who really feared his truth the most. And I feel like in my own life, when I've experienced what I will say broadly as the enemy, right, against my existence, when the enemy feels threatened enough, like being backed in a corner, they will lash out to defend their existence at the expense of everybody else. And I think that's exactly what we're seeing in our nation, especially in the political climate, in our state climate, and especially on a national level, where we have all of this lashing out with the, over 1,500 pieces of legislation put out there to really suppress and to dismiss and erase our rights as a queer community. And so truly injustice continues, and it's not a surprise, but I think it's a beautiful story of support. It may be unspoken support, but I still love the story.
Yeah, Rustin and Dr. King were an extraordinary team. I mean, when you think back to that time, I mean, many of the speeches that Rustin wrote,
yes,
I mean,
he did.
Legendary. But I mean, as for the rumors spread by Madam Hoover, it's obvious that psycho Stephen Miller, his STD cesspool wife, Katie, and the horrible Heritage Foundation, well, they just want to keep that spirit of hatred alive today. And they're coming after people, they're making up lies, just like Madam Hoover did.
I saw a great quote today on social media, and I believe it read, "Can you imagine being afraid of diversity and embracing a dictatorship?" It's just, it was
powerful.
Like,
that's
quite powerful. Yeah.
I love these, I love some of these social medias on social media. I may not like social media, but I do appreciate the literary genius that these people come up with.
Yeah,
so
100%.
True. So true. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.